you know, this is a 60-minute Gentle Vinyasa. And today we're gonna work towards a little inversion, towards a wheel pose. So we'll do some movements according to it. But again, there's no pressure to actually go into it. All right, so sit tall, maybe sit on a block, spine long, hands on your knees. Take a deep breath. Now left hand to right knee, and we're going to turn towards the right for a twist. While we're in this twist, you can focus really on your breath, on those deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And come to the middle. Again, spine long and right hand on the left knee, left hand in the back. We're twisting to the left. And long inhale, long exhale. And come to the middle. Hands all the way up to the top. And now you can either connect the hands and make them face towards the ceiling, or just have your hands like this, whatever feels better. And we're gonna stretch towards the right, stretch the left side off the body. If you feel that an intention would benefit you today, feel free to think of one now. And towards the middle, relax the hands, maybe shake them out, and reconnect them, but with the different fingers. So if you had your left thumb on top now, the right thumb on top, might feel a bit awkward. It's good to train our brains and stretch towards the left. If you don't feel like an intention today, feel free to focus on your breath as always. And back to the center, detach the hands. And now let's just take 3 clearing breaths. So we breathe into the nose and then we sigh out when we exhale. Let's go inhale. And sigh it out. 2 more times. We can just really exaggerate it and let it all out. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. The whole body relaxes. Move your spine, wiggle your shoulders. And then let's meet in a tabletop. Hands below the shoulders, knee below the hip. Have your spine in neutral position. And we're going to inhale, drop the belly for a cow. And exhale, round through the spine, slightly tuck the chin for cat. And inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Now feel free to move according to your own breath. When you inhale, to the cow. And exhale, to cat. Find stillness again in your tabletop. Lift the right leg up 45 degrees. And then we're just going to pulse it up towards the ceiling for 5 times. I'm going to start with 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Move back to tabletop. And on the other side, just make sure that your spine stays straight and doesn't bend when you move up. Just do 5 times on the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to tabletop. Make sure your knees are hip width apart. And now we're going to walk our hands forward until our chest or the forehead or the chin, whatever feels comfortable, touches the floor for puppy pose. Make your spine long. Feel the stretch in your armpits, around the shoulders. You can play with this a bit. Maybe the forehead feels better. Maybe your chin feels better. Maybe you get the chest onto the ground. Maybe it's in the air. One more deep breath here. And slowly come up. Walk your hands back towards your tabletop. Tuck your toes and come up into downward facing dog. Make sure you're spreading your hands wide. You divert your weight into, or distribute the weight in all to 10 fingers. Maybe you want to pedal out your dog. Maybe you're having the knees bend. Now let's walk towards our hand. We're going to stay in the forward fold for a moment. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Doesn't have to be super fast. Until we arrive in Tadasana, our mountain pose, hands by the side. Inhale, arms all the way up to the top. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bend the hands. Step back into your plank. We're going to lower the knees and then the chest and the chin. Untuck the toes. Plant the hands by the side. And come up into a cobra. If you want, you can take the hands away. Hold it here for a moment. And then tuck the toes again. And come up into your plank and downward dog. Walk towards your hands. Forward fold. Also make sure you're relaxing the neck when you're in your forward fold. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, roll all the way up to standing. That is the last that comes up. And arrive in Tadasana. We're going to do 2 more variations of our Sun A here. I'm going to give you some modifications. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step or float back. If you float back, make sure you arrive with bent arms and not with straight. That's too much pressure. And now you can either take the chest, knee, chin and cobra variation, or come down with your chaturanga and to upward facing dog. And then flip back into downward facing dog. Arrive here, take a deep breath. Check your alignment in your down dog. And then float forwards, step or hop. Hold your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, come all the way up to Tadasana. One more time, inhale, arms all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, float back. Take your variation of vinyasa. Hold either an upward dog or cobra for a moment. And flip back to downward facing dog. Take deep breaths in your down dog. See where your heels are at. You can still have bent knees, or slowly move them closer to the ground. Float to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hold one more time. And come all the way up to standing. Go vertebra by vertebra up. And it's the last. Tadasana, mountain pose. The feet hip width apart. And see if you want to grab the mat with your toes. Engage the kneecaps. Engage the butt. Shoulders by the side. You can like roll them back. Make sure they're really back. And here, place the hands a bit above your butt, as if you were having them in your back pockets of jeans, for example. And we're going to bend a tiny bit back to start preparing our back for the big bend that's coming later with the wheel. And come back to center. And one more time, inhale, arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, float back. And take your version of vinyasa. Hold your up dog or cobra for a second. And meet in downward facing dog. A couple deep breaths here. And then the right leg goes up to the sky. Check where your hips are at. Make sure they're still square or parallel towards the mat and don't flank up like this. And then foot goes in between the hands. Lower the left knee down. And come up into your low lunge, Vinyasa. And practice the arms to the side. We're stretching our left hip flexor here. And then hands to the ground. Maybe you move your foot forward a bit if you have long legs. And come back for half split. Elongate the spine. Then back up to your low lunge, Vinyasa. Hands to the mat, and come back to downward facing dog. Deep inhalation and even deeper exhalation. That feels good. You can also sigh it out. Up to you. Left leg goes up to the sky. And the foot comes in between the hands. Right leg comes down. And we're going to come up for a low lunge. Vinyasa. Practice the arms to the side. Really proudly present the chest open here. And then hands by the side. Moving back into half splits. You can also use blocks here if it's harder for you to have the back straight. If I look in the video, mine is a little bit curved too, so I would actually benefit from blocks as well. There's some pulling sensation maybe around the back of the knee. Really breathe towards it. And then come back forward. Up into low lunge one more time. Hands down, tuck the toe, and step back into your down dog. Deep inhalation and exhalation. And you can either remain in down dog or take an optional vinyasa. Right leg comes up to the sky, move it in between the hands, and come up for warrior one. The right knee goes above the ankle, the left foot at 45 degrees. The hips are more or less pointing forward. Doesn't have to be perfect. It really depends on your personal alignment of the body. Now we can connect the hands behind our back and then really open again our chest. Now with the bound hands still, slowly move them up and your chest towards your right knee for a humble warrior. And clasp the hands, come back up, warrior one. And then pivot your hips to the left and open up for warrior two. You might need to adjust your stance to the side a little bit or make it longer. Just play what feels best for your body. As long as you have your right knee still above the ankle, your hip sort of 45 degrees to the left, and your arms are out. Now left hand goes either on the thigh or half bound between your back, and we're going to come back into reverse warrior. Bring the arms down, left heel comes up, down dog. Now left leg rises. Hold it here for a moment and place the foot in between the hands. Gonna come up for warrior one on this side. And again, connect the hands behind the body. If you want, you can try again to connect it differently with the other thumb on top. Usually that's the one you're not using as much. Open the chest. And slowly bend forward. Humble warrior on this side. You can have your hands closer to your butt or above your back or head, or a shoulder stretch. Just connect the hands, come back up, warrior one, and open up to the side for warrior two. Maybe on this side you need to widen the stance or position the foot differently. Just play around with it. And then we're going to move the right hand again back, behind your back or on the thigh for reverse warrior. Deep breaths here. Focus on the breath. And windmill the hands down. Lift the right heel. And downward facing dog. You can either remain in your down dog or take an optional vinyasa here. Your down dog, we're going to take a couple really deep breaths. Focus on your alignment. Focus on the breaths. And the right leg comes up towards the sky. Move it in between the hands. Come up, warrior one. We're going to open up to the side for warrior two. Move it backward, reverse warrior. And right forearm goes onto right thigh for extended side angle. Make some space between the arm and the ear. Maybe try to see if you can pull your shoulder down. Come back, reverse warrior. And windmill the arms down. Lift the left heel and come back to down dog. The cue to lift the heel is just so that you're not transitioning on the weight-bearing leg, but that you first get your heel straight and then transition. It might be just natural for you, but it's also good to know that that is better for your hips and your alignment. Left leg goes up to the sky. Put in between the hands. Come up for warrior one. Again, knee above the ankle. And we're going to open to the side for warrior two. Now right arm goes back, and we come back for reverse warrior. And our left forearm onto the left thigh for extended side angle. Come back up and in reverse warrior. And windmill the hands down, lift the right heel, and downward facing dog. Either take a little moment in your downward facing dog, or take one more optional vinyasa. Deep inhale, and deep exhale, and lower down onto your knees, into a tabletop. Hold here for a moment, and then transition onto your stomach. We're going to have the hands by our side, next to the chest, right below the shoulders. And we're going to come up for a Cobra Pose. You can either have your hands on the mat or lift it up to engage your back more. Still holding it, focus on your breath. If there's any pain, obviously come down. And then cross the hands in front of your head and forehead onto your crossed hands. For crocodile, relax your back. Now come back up, reach back towards the right and towards the left. We're preparing for bow pose. If it's too much, you can either just stay here with your chin and your chest actually on the ground, just reaching for your feet. If you can't reach the feet, a strap or a belt or a towel or something always helps. But if you can connect to your ankles right now, just press your ankles into your hands and come up for bow. Go as high as your spine allows. We're going to do this again, so you don't have to go to the highest yet. Make it sustainable so you can hold it. And release down. Again, hands crossed in front of us. And relax your forehead for our crocodile pose. One more time, prepare for bow pose. Reach back with the right and with the left. And then once you're ready, press against your hands and come up for bow. maybe the same height, maybe a bit less, maybe higher. Focus on your breath. And come down. One more time, crocodile. Relax your whole body. Focus on the breath. Now let's press up into your tabletop. Move the feet over to one side and transition onto the back. You can hug your knees in. Maybe roll from side to side. Maybe move your head really close to your knees to make a little ball. And then feet close to your pelvis. Move them really close in there so that you can reach your fingertips, with your fingertips the heels. And with an inhale, we're going to come up for bridge. Your knees should be hip width apart, the thighs engaged. You can either have your arms by the side with the palms facing down, or connect your hands right under your back. Breathe. And now disconnect the hands if you have them connected and slowly lower down. Hug the knees in one more time. Now we're gonna prepare towards wheel. If you don't feel like doing wheel today, no problem at all. Just do 2 more times the bridge pose. You can always place a block under your sacrum to just remain in that pose longer than it actually has a very beneficial effect. Or you can follow me in the next step for the wheel preparation. Feet are the same way, they're really close to your pelvis, hands by the side. And now lift, first put your hands facing with the fingertips towards your feet. So with the elbows facing to the top of the mat, next to you. Now lift the pelvis up. And we're just gonna come up so that the top of our head is on the mat now. This is a preparation for wheel. You still have some pressure in the arms, but you're also having some with the head to make sure your spine is straight. Breathe. At any point it gets too much, just come out. And then press into your hands, lower the head down, and come all the way down. Hug the knees one more time in. And now, if you want to, we're preparing for wheel. Same thing, heels close to your butt, hands next to your ears, or wherever feels good. You might have to play around with that a little bit. If it doesn't work the first time, just come out of your wheel, place the hands differently. So for me, it's more beneficial to first lift the pelvis up and then press into your hands. Don't just try to jump into both movements at one time. So first, lift the pelvis up, and you can either take the step with the head or directly straighten your arms and come up into your wheel. Look to that spot in between your hands. You want to practice wheel often. That's very beneficial to also record yourself to actually see what you're doing in the wheel pose. Your knees should still be on top of your ankles. And you should be able to breathe. All right, slowly lower down once you're ready. Come all the way down. Relax your hands and your feet down for a moment. Take a deep breath. And then hug your knees in one more time. Maybe with the head to the knees as well. Now, soles of the feet come together. We're opening up the hips. Just for a moment here for a tiny relaxation. Remain in Supta Baddha, lying bound angle. Now move guide, better word, your legs together. Place them up and come into a happy baby. You can move from side to side with the happy baby. Play around with extending the legs long, maybe one at a time, maybe both. Now, the legs together in a 45-degree angle, and we're just going to move them from side to side. You might have to balance a little bit with your arms, not fall over. Now find stillness in the middle. Place your hands on the back of your knees and do some roll-ups. Take as many as you like. It's also very nice for some people to roll on the spine like that. And once you have enough momentum, transition towards a child's pose. You can have the knees wide or closed. And the arms in front or by the side. Take a deep breath. Press up through your tabletop and meet me in downward facing dog. Again, check your alignment. Notice how it feels now compared to your first down dog. Should probably be a little bit warmer by now. And maybe we also stretch the hamstrings a bit more. You might be more flexible. Now walk towards your hands. Feet hip width apart. And just connect the arms in your forward fold. Maybe rock from side to side. Now you can again just connect the hands behind your back and just let the hands fall forward for shoulder stretch. And then disconnect the hands, place the hands on the mat, come back into your down dog. And from here, lower the knees down. The forearm goes onto the mat like this. And then just come up again into your down dog or puppy pose. It's essentially the same as a downward dog, just on your forearms. And this is kind of hard to hold. Just breathe. And lower the knees back down. And child's pose. Come back up into a plank. The right knee goes onto the right side, left knee onto the left side. One more time, right side and left side. Come into your plank. And now let's move the left leg onto the mat and just stretch your right side long. Right arm goes back, and we can transition to a tabletop. Right knee stays on the ground, right hand as well. And we'll stretch the left side long. Come back down to a tabletop and sink back into your child's pose. Come back up, move the feet towards the front, bend the legs long, sit up tall, inhale, arms all the way up towards the sky, and with a long spine, we will fold forward. You can reach for your feet, for your ankles, for your knees, wherever you can reach. And don't forget to inhale and exhale. With every exhale, you can try to relax all muscles a bit more. So maybe you can actually go a little bit deeper into the pose. Come back up, sit long. Now we're bending the right leg. Same thing, arms up towards the sky, straighten your spine, and then fold forward. But this time just over the left leg. Come back up, Extend the right leg long. Bend the left leg. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And exhale, pull forward. Come back up. Extend both legs long. And come lying on the back. The right leg goes on top of the left leg, and you can make some eagle legs and then move them towards the left. Your arms can be in a T. You can look to the right. Come back through the center. Untangle your legs. Lift your pelvis up a little bit to the left. Left leg crosses over the right. And then move both your legs to the right. Maybe again, hands in the T, arms in the T, and face towards the left. Back to the center. Untangle the legs one more time. Now just roll them from side to side. Let them fall from side to side. Place the base of the feet together, soles connected, and let the knees fall to both sides. Just deepen your breath. Tiny bit of stretch for the hip here. Guide your knees back together. And feel free to just do any more movements you would like before our Shavasana. Maybe you again want to take a happy baby, or you want to do one of the other stretches just for a moment. And once you're ready, release your feet or come out of any pose you were in. Extend your legs long. Let your arms roll to the side. Deepen your breath. Really focus on every inhale and exhale. Maybe just follow the journey of the breath, how it comes into your body. How you can really follow it into every little corner and part of the body. If there's any noise where you are or where I am, simply notice them and let them go. All that you need to focus on is your connecting points to the mat, how the earth holds you up and supports you, and how you feel with each breath that brings in life and relaxation. Please now enjoy Shavasana. I will let you up. I will let you know when it's time to get up. Slowly start wiggling the toes, your hands. Take a deep breath. Notice again where you connect to the mat, to the ground. Get your arms up over the head and stretch long. Stretch really long from the fingertips to your toes. Once you're ready, roll onto one side and just remain there for a moment. Once you feel ready, you can come up to a seated position. Then feel free to sit on a block if that feels good for you. Now, inhale, raise the arms all the way up over the top. Again, stretch long. And sink them down. One more time, inhale, raise the arms all the way over our heads. And the hands connect together. Prayer, move them to our third eye. And our lips. And the heart. For clairvoyance, gentle words, and love and compassion for ourselves and others. I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Wish you a wonderful weekend. Namaste.